Travis Wayne Goodsill. Well, Amazon is holding at the West Valley City delivery place my mini-sized Big Turks. So I guess we can call them Mini Turks. In Canada, this is where I learned about them. And working as a firefighter, they had a supply of candy bars and sodas back at the station for us when we got back. And that's my first experience with the Big Turk. And turns out in Canada they call it Big Turd. It's gummy candy covered in chocolate, the best of both worlds. And the last thing I want is to believe that it can be used as a pool prank. But you can't get it here in America in the stores, and Amazon does sell it, but they really rake you over the coals with the price, even on Amazon. So finally they have the mini size with the Amazon Prime discount. So I was able to get one bag, and I'll continue to get more bags in the future, but it's been there since 3:30 in the morning, and it's still not out for delivery as we're coming around 10 o'clock. So it missed the first shift. Anyway, so I get to do a video. And maybe it's because Mormons believe that I am attacking the church. No, that doesn't work either, because I'm doing my own video on my own channel. I'm not posting videos on Kwaku's channel or the church's channel, or making hate comments on the church's channel, sending the church death threats. That's Mormons doing it to me. And so that doesn't work. And if you're wondering, what are you talking about? Well, you missed the previous video I did this morning. And so let's go through debating Mormonism, because the church apologists, and now Kwaku has been elevated to an official apologist, they love to use fallacy. Their prime fallacy is ad hominem. If you don't know what an ad hominem is, it's where you call people names. You're dumb, you're stupid for believing that. Church is true. Only smart people believe in the church. You better watch your back. You're unarmed. Stay out of debating. You know, those are death threats. I got that the other day. Again. And so in debate, you're supposed to present a position. You know, for example, there's pro-life versus pro-choice, and the teacher assigns you to one or the other, and assigns another classmate to the other, and you're supposed to defend it, even if you know you can't. And see, for example, if I were to be placed in that situation, I couldn't do that kind of a debate, because mine would be a third option. So, no, women don't always have their own choice in the matter, nor is it a pro-life issue. There's a third situation that nobody is wanting to factor in, and purposely pitting the two, which the pro-choice versus pro-life is a consequential choice. It's after the results already happened. And so mine, the third option, is going right back to the cause. What caused the woman to get pregnant? That's what the cops and the courts and people need to determine as to whether or not an abortion is legal or not. Because in and of itself, no, nothing wrong with it. And but you got to go back to the origin. Why is the woman pregnant? What caused her pregnancy? And if it was done against her will, violating her life, liberty, and property, yeah, it's her choice to say, I don't want this baby, get it out of me. So, with the church, it's a simple one. The church started with the Book of Mormon. Now I know in 1838, Joseph Smith retroactively put in the first vision. And so we have to exclude that from the origin. The first vision cannot be included because it was put in 1838. You see how that works? You know, Mormons shouldn't fear. It's just not confirmed that it actually happened. It's an 1838 event retroactively placed in. So you can't start your debate there. Did the first vision happen? No, you can't. Instead, you go to Moroni, which Joseph Smith called Nephi. Joseph Smith papers. That was one of the things I ended up learning after the fact, as the church said, oh yeah, we've been lying to you. It was actually Nephi, but it needed to be corrected. Who said? Joseph? No, he didn't say. He was consistent his whole life as Nephi. Why are we changing it to Moroni? And so this is where the origin is, the Book of Mormon. It's the keystone of Mormonism for that very reason. And so, the Book of Mormon is where all debates in Mormonism start. Okay, let us begin. Mormons. Joseph Smith said it. He was living in those different places. He was working on it. Martin Harris confirmed. There were witnesses to it. Rebuttal time. Where's the plates? Counter rebuttal. Well, the angel took them. Did you see what happened? The whole church rests upon the Book of Mormon. Now, you need to then back up a little bit. Oh, wait a minute. It's the current church that is emphasizing this. The Keystone part was Wilford Woodruff's journal that was put into the introduction. See, Joseph Smith was doing other things with the pushing of the Book of Mormon. He never said that, well, we won't get into that. We're already at 10 minutes. So, yeah, the current church is using Joseph Smith's origin story with the Book of Mormon as the Keystone of Mormonism. And so it doesn't matter about hearsay witnesses. It doesn't matter what the Book of Mormon confirms or doesn't confirm. In order to validate the debate, to win the debate, you have to show the plates. And then with the plates, you then show, well, we have this expert Egyptologist who was able to look at the small plates at the beginning, and he examined them and was able to translate them in the exact same translation as Joseph Smith, even the 1769 version of Isaiah with all of its errors. That's required in order for Mormons to win the debate on truth. And they can't do it because everything collapses when you disprove the Keystone because there's no plates. The church literally has collapsed, and Mormons are attending the rubble and saying, oh, it's so true. The Book of Mormon doesn't exist. It's missing from the Keystone. When you take out the Keystone, everything collapses. The church has collapsed. And yet it continues to exist as a fraud. It's the big lie. And so for me, why am I still defending Joseph Smith? You know, I still get ex-Mormons who make a comment about how they enjoyed my video and throw in, because they missed the other videos where I defend Joseph Smith, that Joseph Smith is a fraud and a con and a money digger and blah, blah, blah. You know, the regular complaints. But why am I, as I have shown the church isn't true, still defending the Smiths? It's because the foundation is not the Book of Mormon. The foundation I found out elsewhere. It's Canandaigua, New York. That is the foundation, the cornerstone of Mormonism. It was that place. I'll sneeze. Okay. Canandaigua, New York is the cornerstone of Mormonism. That place is where Mormonism gave birth, conceived, right there in Canandaigua, New York, in 1823. But no, Travis, Joseph Smith was at the farm in Manchester. No. See, you can't use what has already been disproven. Now that I've destroyed the current church and their Keystone, all of it has to go. You've got to throw it all out, and you've got to start all over again. Rebuild church history from scratch. Don't bring the baggage in, because once you start bringing baggage in, you complicate it and you muck it up. You're going in the wrong direction, and you're going to create more problems, just like the Book of Abraham did for the church. Because Brigham Young wanted nothing to do with the Book of Abraham, didn't take it with him. It was the Richards guy, the mission president in England, who created it with the little pamphlet thing that he handed out, and then brought it with him when he decided to choose Brigham Young's organization to stay with, rather than any number of others who branched off after Joseph Smith was assassinated. And so Brigham Young had it put into a pearl of great price. And I think it was after Brigham Young. I won't go into that, not necessary. But because of including that back into Mormonism, where Brigham Young wanted nothing to do with translation. No translator. Did you listen to conference like I told you to? I even did the video, and I put up the little caption at that moment. No translator. The prophets have rejected the key of translator, the gift of translator that is required for the first president of the church. 107, 91, or is that 92 where that part is? Yeah, 92. 91 is the key of Moses, not Peter, James, and John. See what I mean? There's another one. That's baggage for Mormons. They think that the first president's key is Peter, James, and John. It's Moses. So throw out all your Mormon thinking. Throw it all out. And I'm not talking about becoming a hedonist, joining orgy clubs. I'm not talking about becoming immoral, but you have to throw out the current church's understanding of morality. You've got to come up with a new one that works better, that's more sound, that is not ridiculous, that is not anti-life claiming pro-life. Because the pro-lifers, they're anti-life. Yeah, how do they treat women who get raped? Yeah, they want the woman to suffer, and if she dies, she dies. They financially destroy her life, cause such severe backlash in society, all in an attempt to destroy her. So, are they pro-life? No, it's a fraud. That's why a third option's best. What caused her pregnancy? Anyway, so does that help you guys understand if Mormons are still listening? Because Mormons, as far as I can tell, just attack. They're just vessels of wrath. How dare you challenge us? How dare you molest or make afraid? There's a reason why they do that. And I gave you the clue right there. They follow the precepts of them who they follow. That's why Mormonism needs to be completely erased from our minds, from our histories, from our thinking. And it's difficult, I know. I went through it. It was a phase thing with the magic underwear. I was still wearing the magic underwear when I was saying, okay, that's it, I'm out. I want nothing more to do with the church. And then it was finally one day, I should probably buy new underwear to replace the magic underwear, especially since they're getting very holy. And then it began. I had bought white shirts, Hanes white shirts, to replace the magic underwear. I was still in the pattern, and had forgotten that deodorant now no longer leaves a stain on your shirts, in the armpits. I come from that generation. We are so greatly blessed with modern technology for hygiene. And women, with my favorite new commercial about always and the gush moments. So, yeah, and even, yeah, I found the other day when I was trying to unpack the bedroom because of the death threats that I've been getting here by the landlord and the property manager under orders of the church, I found a stray magic underwear pants. I went, oh, look at that. Throw that away. But yeah, you have to realize that it's superstition to believe that the magic underwear actually is a shield and a protection to you against the power of the destroyer until you have finished your work on this earth. Whoa, he knows that? See, all Mormons believe that once you leave the church, you instantly go dumb. You forget the true light and truth of the church. Shall I try another one? Let's see how well I've done after all this time. Adam, 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 where art thou? I heard thy voice and hid myself because I was naked. Who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou partaken of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, of which we commanded thee not to partake? The woman thou gavest me, and commanded that she should be with me, she gave me of the fruit of the tree, and I did eat. Eve, what is this thou hast done? I have been giving, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. Lucifer, what hast thou been doing here? I have been doing that which has been done on other worlds. What is that? I have been giving some of the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil to them. Lucifer, because thou hast done this, thou shalt be cursed above all the beasts of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust thou shalt eat all the days of thy life. If thou cursest me for doing the same thing which has been done on other worlds, I shall take the spirits that follow me, and they shall possess the bodies thou createst for Adam and Eve. I shall place enmity between thee and the seed of the woman. Thou mayest have power to bruise his heel, but he shall have power to crush thy head. Then with that enmity I will take the treasures of the earth, and with gold and silver I will buy up armies and navies, false priests who oppress, and tyrants who destroy, and reign with blood and horror on this earth. Depart. Slam! If you get the Salt Lake Temple live version, which is no longer going to happen. So there you go. And if you hadn't noticed, all my videos include scripture. Like I said, the church isn't true. Scripture isn't. Isn't true? Is that a double negative? Scripture is. But you notice that Article of Faith number 8 also applies, as I've been correcting the Bible for you guys. So yeah, there is truth out there. Thanks, Fox Mulder. When's your new series coming out? I'm getting a little over anxious for it. He's going to be a polygamist in Southern California. From one Californication to the other. So, yeah, you just have to know how to look for it. Because otherwise, the church They're going to get involved in these rabbit hole arguments with you. And they're going to attack, and they're going to be mean, and they're going to be bullies. I saw a video by Kwaku where they had 3 black people who, the one in the middle was superhuman. And all of us know what that means. Kwaku brought the big guy to the fight. We all know exactly what that meant. That's what you do when you can't use your mind to win a debate. You bring in the big guy. Might makes right in Kwaku's mind. And you notice that when something that they were, some video guy that they were using, you know, when he would say something, the big guy in the middle, as if he was getting approval or support for his being offended by the other 2 guys who were just calm, cool, and collected. Occasionally would laugh. Then they'd talk about the history of racism in the church in America, blah, blah, blah. No, wrong argument. Go to the core. Go to the source. Church is racist. Kwaku, your buddy, is betraying you, using you to make the church think that, or make the church appear as if it's not racist. Again, wrong. That's a fallacious argument. But they don't care to learn fallacy, or they know it, and they're purposely violating it in their debates. So, now, alright, that's it. So, more thumbs down.